Well, welcome to my channel. My name is Sandy, and the name of my channel is Life with Sandy. I am on a journey to lose 100 pounds through the Weight Watcher app. I, at one point, did really well and lost 96 pounds. Got a little full of myself, gained back 50 pounds, and so now I'm back on my journey to lose my 100 pounds again. So I do a daily vlog. I sing to you on your birthday. I sing to you on your anniversary if you let me know. If you ask for prayers, I like to include prayers because I consider myself a Christian person, and I like to pray for people of all faiths. I don't care what faith, of all faiths, I'll pray for you. And I was invited by Joan over at Rise and Shine Suburban Homesteading to do a soup collab. We talked about this about a month or so ago. So we're going to share with you 4 different soups. I am going to share Crockpot taco soup, a slow cooker creamy chicken and potato soup, a slow cooker red wine beef stew, and a slow cooker chicken tortilla soup. I like cooking in a crock pot. I don't like always being worried about constantly stirring something on the stove. I like that you can just set it up in the morning and you can either go to work, you can do whatever you got to do for school, you know, like with your kids for school activities and stuff, and then it's right there. I usually make some bread or some biscuits or something to go along with it. My husband Jim is not a big soup eater, so I have to make a soup that freezes well, that I can eat at a later date. Jim will eat the soup on the day it's prepared, but he won't eat soup the next day or anytime after that. But every soup that I've made so far froze up really well, and I have had it since, so it's not a problem freezing it. But included in the collab today, you're going to get 4 different soups, so you're going to end up with, there's 5 of us, right? Yeah, you're going to have 20 different soups. Joan at Rise and Shine Suburban Homesteading is going to come up with 4. Kim over at A Girl on Her Phone is coming up with 4. Edie over at Edie's Adventures is coming up with 4. Recipes with Roy is coming up with 4 recipes of soup, and myself, Life with Sandy, we have 4 different soups. So of all the soups, the one soup that Jim did not like was the slow cooker creamy chicken and potato. It was a little too spicy for him. You can alternate the recipe. At the end of each little video of the soups that I've made, I include the recipe card. So I am notorious for not following a recipe correctly. So when you're watching the video, take that in mind. Sometimes I forget things, sometimes I put too much, sometimes I put too little, sometimes I don't even put it in. But the recipe is there for you to decide on how you want to make it. So let's turn you around, and we'll start with the first soup, which I'm pretty sure was the Crockpot taco soup. Which, if I had to say which was my favorite, I'd say that was my favorite. It's more like a chili type of soup, I think. I am a big fan of chili. I'm a very big fan of spicy foods. So take that in mind when you're following the recipes. If you're not really a spicy person, you might want to cut back on some of the spices. But enough about that. Let's turn you around and get started with this video. Real quick, while I was editing my video, I got my buds in. While I was editing the video, I realized I have a lot of background noise between my clock, because I have a lot of clocks in my house, as you can see. I have a lot of clocks. I have wind chimes outside, and it's very breezy today. Jim watches the TV. Our kitchen is attached to our living room. There's the kitchen where I'm working. Jim's outside doing the leaves right now, so you're going to hear the background noise of the leaves. It's kind of hard to do anything when you don't live alone. So anyway, I apologize for all the background noise. As Joan says, it's real life around here because this is just the way it is. So let's get started with the video now. Hopefully the background noise doesn't bother you too much. Okay, these are the ingredients we're going to need for the Tuesday taco. You know what? I forgot to buy some tortilla strips I was going to put on top. Oh, well. I got 2 pounds. You only calls for 1 pound, but I got 2 pounds, a pound of ground beef and a pound of pork blend for my chili meat because we like it a little meatier. 1 package of taco seasoning mix, 1 package of original ranch Hidden Valley seasoning, a small can of diced tomato and chilies, a small can of chili ready diced tomatoes. It said white beans, I'm going to put cannoli beans. It said kidney beans, I'm going to put pinto beans. It said corn, I'm going to put black beans in its substitute, and some diced green chilies. And let me turn you around and we'll get started to show you how quick and easy this soup recipe is. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is I forgot to put this as one of the ingredients, but I like to put onions in the chili too, or the taco soup. Oh, my dryer is done. So we're just gonna add some chopped onions here and brown those up a little bit. So let's brown the onions up a little and we'll move on from there. Okay, we've browned the meat now, and so now we're going to add the taco seasoning mix. And we're just going to kind of stir it in. I don't add water to this, I just put the seasoning mix like this. And then once we have it all mixed in, we will drain the grease and then pour it into the crock pot. So let me move this over and we'll get situated over where we're going next. Okay, now it's just a matter of just pouring in our ingredients. We're going to start with the diced tomatoes. We're not draining anything. The canola beans. The diced rotel tomato chilies, some pinto beans, and like I said, we're going to use black beans instead of corn, but you can put corn in if you prefer. Some green chilies. Give this a stir. Then we're going to add our drained meat. If you like it a little thicker, you can add a little bit more tomato sauce. Or I mean thinner, you can add some tomato sauce. Or you can just leave it like this, it'll cook down. And then we're going to add our ranches dip, and then we're just going to stir that in. If you want to add some chili powder, Jim doesn't really like too much spice, so I add it afterwards at the table. So this is our Tuesday taco soup, and we're going to cook this on low in the crock pot for 2 to 4 hours. So let me put a lid on it and then we are done. And there is my Crockpot taco soup. I am going to add about a teaspoon of sour cream and a little bit of some cheese on top. Just to finish it off. So there you go, Crockpot taco soup. Okay, these are the ingredients you're going to need for the chicken potato soup. You're going to need a cup of whole milk, 4 cloves of garlic. I'm going to use a tablespoon of the minced garlic instead. A tablespoon of butter bouillon chicken base, a 32 ounce thing of chicken broth, some seasonings for your chicken. I use the garlic salt, Lori salt, and onion bagel sauce. You're going to need some curry powder, some oregano. They said a regular jalapeno. I'm using diced jalapenos. It's just easier. An onion chopped. 1 pound. This is 2 pounds of potatoes. I'm going to use 1 pound of the potatoes cut and diced. Some carrots, some cream cheese, obviously some chicken, a crock pot, and some measuring spoons. So let me get everything turned around and situated, and we will start making the soup. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is season our chicken with some garlic salt, some regular seasoned salt. And I like to use the everything but the bagel. And then turn it over and do the same with the other side. Okay, and then after we do that, we're going to put the chicken into the pot. See if I got to move it over so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're just going to put the chicken in there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add our carrots and onions on top of that. Our potatoes. I just leave the peels on these. We're going to put a can of jalapenos. And our cream cheese. And either 4 cloves of garlic or 1 tablespoon of garlic, of the minced garlic. I'll put a little bit more in, I like it a little. Okay, then what we're going to do is just kind of give this a stir so everything is all kind of mixed together. Then we're going to add a cup of whole milk. Our package of broth. One tablespoon of some bouillon. Let me make sure I get all of it out. Get a little spoon here. I want to make sure we get all of that in there. Then we're going to have 2 teaspoons of curry powder. And 1 teaspoon of oregano. And we're going to give this a stir around, make sure everything's all mixed together. We are going to cook this on low in the crock pot for 5 to 6 hours. So let's turn this on. It's on low. Put our lid on. And I will show you the finished product. I did forget that we're putting, instead of kale, we're putting mushrooms in. So you want to make sure you wash the mushrooms. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning, but Jim and I like mushrooms, so we're adding that to it. Actually, I think that's a few too many mushrooms, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, we've taken the chicken out, and now what we just want to do is just kind of shred it so that we can put it back into the soup. So we're just gonna, I checked the temperature and it is cooked. So once we shred it, I'm just gonna add it back to the soup, and we're gonna let the soup simmer for another 20 minutes or so. We have bread in the oven, so as soon as the bread is done, then we will have soup du jour. So once we got that shredded like that, just gonna put it back into the soup. Once we plate it up, I'll show you how the finished product looks. Okay, these are the ingredients we're going to need for the slow cooker red wine beef stew. We need 3 pounds of beef chuck. I just bought the already cut up stewing beef. Some celery. It calls for chopped carrots. We just like shredded carrots in our soups, so we're just going to use some shredded carrots. Some sea salt, some black pepper, some tablespoon of tomato paste, some extra virgin olive oil, some red wine. I've decided on using the Merlot, some beef broth, an onion. It calls for 2 Yukon Gold potatoes. I have 1 Idaho potato and some little tiny baby potatoes left over. I'm going to put those in there. 2 tablespoons of butter, some sun-dried tomatoes. It calls for 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just going to use a couple tablespoons of minced garlic and a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes and a crock pot to cook it in. So let me turn you around and let's get situated and let's get this meal started. Okay, we're going to start off. We had our pan preheating. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the pan. Around a little. And then we are going to salt our meat. And then we're also, put some pepper on our meat, and then we're going to put it into the pan. When you hear it simmering like that, that means that it's doing good. And we're just going to brown the meat up. So let me sear the meat a little bit here first, and then I'll be back.
I'm going to put I'll do that in my
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the meat out. We're going to transfer it over to my crock pot. But first, I'm going to take the meat out. Scrape the sides a little bit, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, melt that down, cut it in half. And to this, we're going to also add our red wine and our a tablespoon of tomato paste. So, here's my red wine. And 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Going to mix this together, and we're going to simmer this for about a minute. I'll be back. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to add our meat into the bottom of the pan. Our red wine sauce. Our chopped celery. The amount of carrots that we want to use. I can get it open. Sorry about that. Struggling here. I was going to put like a handful. Our potatoes and carrots. Gotta cut my other ones. I'm going to just leave the skins on. I did wash them, the potatoes. Our sun-dried tomatoes. Well, a tablespoon of garlic. Our tomatoes, crushed tomatoes. And our broth. Give it a stir, get it all mixed together, and we're going to cook it on low for about 3 to 4 hours. So let me cover it up, and I'll show it to you in a little while. I'm sorry, I checked my ingredient. You're supposed to cook it on high for 3 to 4 hours, not low. If I cook it on low, it's 8 hours. On high, it's 4 hours. And the finished product. Okay, for my fourth and final soup, we're going to make a chicken tortilla. Hopefully this is not, it doesn't seem like it's going to be too spicy for Jim, but we'll see. So let me turn you around and show you the ingredients to the chicken tortilla soup. Okay, the seasoning for the chicken calls for salt and pepper, cumin, and chili powder. I'm also going to put some everything but the bagel sesame seed on it. It's not included in the recipe, but I put it on my chicken. You need a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, 3 cups of chicken broth, a can of black beans, a 10-ounce can of diced tomatoes and green chilies, a red and yellow pepper chopped, an onion chopped, and some tomato paste, and of course, chicken. So let me get you situated, turn you around, and let's get started on this really quick and easy soup. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is season our chicken. I'm just going to use all of the tenderloins. I thought I picked up breasts, but no, I didn't. I picked up tenderloins. So we're going to just salt and pepper it. And we're going to put, I'm sorry, I'm out of the shot so much. I'm just going to put some everything but the bagel sauce on here. Turn it over upside down. Separate it a little bit so it's not all together. I have tenderloins instead of breasts. I picked up the wrong thing, obviously, but it's still chicken, so that's all that matters. So then we're going to salt and pepper this side. And we're going to use some of our bagel sauce on this one. We're going to use 1 teaspoon, I think it's, let me check and make sure. Yeah, 1 teaspoon of cumin. On the chicken. And 2 teaspoons of chili powder. You know what, I'm only going to use 1 because Jim doesn't like things spicy. So we're just going to use 1. Recipe calls for 2, but we're only going to do 1. Okay, and then what we're going to do is add our chopped red pepper, yellow pepper, and onions. Just put it over the top of it. And then we're going to add our can of diced tomatoes. And then our can of tomato chilies. A rinsed can of black beans. 4 ounces of tomato paste, which equals out to, I think they said 6, I think. Let me check. I should have bought just a little can, but I knew I had this in the refrigerator. But I think it's 6 or 8, but I'm going to put 6 in. I can always add more later if I need it. But I think 6 is good for now. I know you see me struggling here. I should have measured it out. And then 3 cups of chicken broth. Let me get a spoon. I was told you always use a wooden spoon when dealing with any kind of tomato sauce or tomatoes. And then we're going to cook this on low for 8 hours. But you know what? I'm going to add another tablespoon of, this should have been a little thicker. I know I'm not a really a measurer type of person, but we'll see. Okay, so let's put this on low for 8 hours, and that's just as quick and easy as it is. Put the lid on, and we're all set. Okay, and here is the finished product of the chicken tortilla soup. Since I used chicken tenders, I didn't have to take the chicken out to shred it. It just kind of came apart by itself. But if you use the chicken breast, you take them out and shred it. But these are like the right, just about the right thing. And then what I'm going to put is a scoop of sour cream in mine. Jim doesn't like sour cream, so there is the finished product. Once again, I'd like to thank Joan over at Rise and Shine Suburban Homesteading for inviting me on this collab. It was a lot of fun. We do plan on doing another collab during Vlogmas. We have like a whole bunch of different ideas that we're going to share with you, but that's not till December. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and then share the video if you think somebody might like to see this video. But subscribe and put the notification bell on so that you can know when I put videos up. And especially during Vlogmas, you don't want to miss any of my Vlogmas videos. We're making a dessert. Let me see. Let me real quick, because I got it right here. We are making a dessert salad. We're going to show you our Christmas video, like a tag video. We're going to do a DIY gift, a 30-minute meal, a sweet snack, a cozy drink, a charcuterie board, a New Year's Eve snack, an ornament, a Christmas cookie, a Christmas home tour, and a breakfast brunch, a copycat recipe, and also we're going to do a review of what we're going to plan for the coming year of 2025. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you go in the links down below in the description box and go over to the other channels and see what delicious soups they're making. Roy, Edie, Kim, Joan, and myself. So thanks for watching, and let me know which soup you're going to try, and do you like spicy or not? I'm kind of curious if you like spicy or not. I love spicy. So hopefully I see you on my daily vlog, but thank you for watching this vlog. And thank you, Joan, for asking me to be included in this video.